at the worst stock of black men that have ever been raised on American soil have been raised over the last 50 years. We have the least productive, the most vile, the most imprisoned, the most violent, the least responsible black man. We've been here since 1619, allegedly, to some of the people that keep track of the first coming to America by black people in terms of slavery. But even in slavery, I mean, we were able to raise Nat Turner and Frederick Douglass. You can say what you want about them in terms of post-slavery and, if you will, abolitionists and post-abolitionists. But the worst case, the worst crop of black men ever have been raised over the last 50 years. And if you know a black man who's between the age right now of 1 and 50, he is a part of the worst generation of black men that have ever walked upright on American soil. He's the least protective of his family. He is the poorest. He is the most homeless. He is the most imprisoned. His sons have been shot down and killed. He has been shot down and killed. He has been raised by his mother, who doesn't know how to raise a man. His father has perpetuated the situation, and his mother still looking for somebody to love her, looking for a man. There ain't no man. The worst marital conditions for the black woman on planet Earth in terms of finding a husband has never been as bad. A black woman would be more productive finding a husband on the moon than she will on planet Earth. Years ago, going back 50, 60 years ago, when black men were men, the average black girl, 17, 18, 19 years old, would have at least 3 or 4 men proposing to her.
True.
She'd have that many men want to marry her. I'm going to tell you the truth. Every black woman knows this. The black men that have been raised over the last 50 years, raised by the civil rights movement, raised by the likes of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, later on with T.D. Jakes and Obama, and the so-called mega preachers, the black woman knows you can't find a man. I don't care how good you look, how tight your skirt, how low the cut on your bra, how pushed up your bra is. You can't find no man out there. Now, he ain't there. Now, there are plenty of them sleeping on the street. There are plenty of them in prison. And there are plenty of them that have turned fairies. There are plenty of men out there looking for men, too. There are plenty of black men looking. There might be more black men out there looking for a black man than the black woman. It's a mess. It's a scream, I tell you. It's a scream. And why is this so? Because of the cultural, if you will, the failure of truth, the failure of the churches, the failure of the politicians, the failure of the mothers and fathers to follow the tradition. When that civil rights movement hit, that Dr. King movement hit, black people went buck wow. I mean, they went buck wow. After Shirley Chisholm and Adam Clayton Powell, they went buck wow. Crazy liberals, if you will, giving up and expecting the government to do everything for them, hating white folk and marching up and down, burning down buildings like they're starting fires. I mean, the black family went buck wow. They think I'm crazy. Because I keep telling you, but look at where you are. Are you a black woman? I don't care how good looking you are, your long hair and long legs and a nice fanny and a protruding breast. Ain't no black man out there. The black man you're looking at is looking at the black man in the next cubby in the office. He's looking at the man too. It's a scream. It's the worst condition on planet Earth. There's never been a time when the black family have been so destroyed. And this is the reason being is when you lift up somebody like that Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, I mean, even Ray Charles could see that man was funny than a $3 bill. And he wasn't even black, raised up in Hawaii as a surfer and spent the first 9 years of his life in Indonesia being raised by a tranny who had cut off his junk. And Obama was in the house with that tranny day in and day out when he was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old with that tranny. You call that your first black president? You sickos, you black people. You sick. You know, okay, so he'll go find a black man. Black children ain't got no father. And then I try to talk to the mothers. He's supposed to make us feel good. He's supposed to be putting people down. So, I would want to say that to you. I think it's very important that I do, that you understand that that's a condition. And God has called me to raise up men of righteousness. I don't expect most of y'all agree with that. Most of y'all are just as stupid, sick, poor, imprisoned, impotent as you can possibly be. And some of you black men out there couldn't make a woman excited about you. You couldn't ring her bell. If you had the Liberty Bell from Philadelphia, when they were ringing that bell during the days of freedom, you couldn't ring that woman's bell because there ain't nothing inside of you to ring no woman's bell. It's a mess, I tell you. Talking about Obama, your first black president. That's Sylvester Houston down in Houston is your mayor. You ain't got nothing, can't do nothing, ain't got no money, broke. Talking about Al Sharpton is a great leader. What a bunch of sickos y'all are. So you don't like Pastor Man, is that right? Well, we here ain't for the black man. I sure ain't for y'all. God knows I ain't. Lord have mercy. And anybody that's for you done lost their mind. But I will say this, that I am calling men to righteousness. You come to this ministry, you have to come in, sit down, take 2 or 3 years, just sit down and listen. Don't come in there talking that talk. Come in talking that black talk. You want to get straight. You want to be able to raise your children. And the woman, I've been telling the women, you mothers, y'all the ones that have raised these awful children. You know, your children, mothers, right now you got sons anywhere between 1 and 25 years old or 35 years old. His son's going to be just like your son. It is a perpetual situation that just keeps repeating itself. And if your son happens to meet a woman and she gets hooked up with your son, he going to do her just like his father did you. It ain't going to change. And yet you don't want to hear what I have to say. Is that right? You're going to go to T.D. Jakes, who set the woman loose. And I told y'all T.D. Jakes said to the woman inside of him, "Woman, thou art loose." And he pulled that woman out of him. T.D. Jakes, right? Pulled that woman out of Eddie Long, out of Will Smith, out of LeBron James. Anyway, so these things are critically important for us, and I am on the mission for Almighty God. I understand that people are not going to listen to what I say. They didn't listen to Jesus, but I'm going to say it. And I thank God for those of you who do. And I thank God for those of you who, this is Pastor Man telling the truth, especially those of you who know that it ain't going to get better. You need to step up beside me and say, all right, Pastor Man, I'm willing to submit myself to you. And let's try to get some things done together. I think it'll be very important for that.
All right, guys. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and things, man. And this, and he got some other things as well too, but I definitely wanted to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is that bad. It's that bad in things. He ain't joking. He ain't lying. I've been saying that we all sounding the trumpet. The so-called black community is in trouble.
Oh, no,
You know what I'm saying? It's in trouble. Big time, though, ladies and gentlemen. Be in trouble. Hold on, let me just move this up forward here.
I'm here.
Hold on for a minute. So I've been on this channel and stuff, checking it out again, and he talks about Obama and a lot of other people like I do. You know what I'm saying? We in serious trouble as a group, man, of people, man. We're not doing great at all. We're doing bad. We ain't doing good. Whoever told you that is lying. Boy, I tell you. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, whoever told us that we was doing good, ladies and gentlemen, they're lying to us. And they've been lying to us in the so-called black community. And like you said, ever since blacks have touched down after civil rights and welfare act and all that stuff, the community have gone to SHIT. He ain't lying about it at all. We became a godless people as a group. And look how we're paying for it right now. You know what I'm saying? The sins of our father is steady being the sins of us. Look at this. We're dying on our own sword. Brother against brother. 97% black on black crime. We almost at 100%. We got the real statistics from the FBI statistics, which they've been cooking the books for years, though, when the Democrats had control of it. Why? Because they didn't want you to know who was doing majority of the killing, the robbing, and all the rest of the stuff, though, right? This is exactly what it is. So until we repent as a group of people and come back to God, boy, it ain't nothing good. The devil ain't gonna promise you nothing. The devil is a lie, and this is what's going on. This is the reason why. Look at the policies, man. The policies is a lie because the devil give you what? Nothing, right? He gives you empty promises and make it look good, right? At the end of it, look around. Look at your communities, right? Look at your communities. Who's robbing who? It ain't white people breaking into your homes. It ain't Asian people. It ain't Indians and others. It's black folks that's breaking in your homes, right? These are the people. We're talking about people that look like you and me. Let's go on and keep it real, right? And this is one of the reasons you can't really blame a lot of blacks that want to live. We can't even live around our own community. Because if we do, they're jealous of what you got. You know what I'm saying? You heard the old saying, when black people move, they used to move at night. Why? I'm telling you whites, and for that you don't know, blacks used to have a thing when they used to move at night. When you're moving in or trying to move out of the ghetto, right? Because they don't know what you got. It's easier to know what it is. I appreciate the super chat, Hillbilly Patriot, man. I think I remember you before, man. Shout out to you and stuff. I'm gonna look at the comments in a minute. I haven't forgotten you guys. Hillbilly Patriot, I appreciate you though, man, coming in on that. You know, I always appreciate all super chats, whether they're, get my attention with the question or whatever, but I'm going to come around there as soon as I finish doing somewhat of a monologue again. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, but it's one of these type of things, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of these type of things, though, you know. You're looking at other ethnic groups. Again, they're not allowed to say it. They're not allowed to tell the truth or whatever, because you know what? That was a whole thing with the Obama thing, right? Obama pretty much was able to do what he wanted to do with America and things like that. And then look at it though, man. In fact, I just want to, I'm gonna go back to my point in a minute. Just give me a minute here. And this is why we call Obama one of the worst presidents in history, right? About Barack Hussein Obama, better known as Barry Santoro. And things like that. And I need to go ahead and send this. Let me go ahead and do this here because I want to post this up as well. Just give me one moment. I'm going to post this up. Go ahead and send that to myself. There we go. Let me see here. There we go. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, there we go right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and send this. Let me see. Let's go ahead and send this here. Just give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and send this. Let me see here. Here we go. Here. Or open the preview right here. There we go. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and send this into my, let me see here. Let's go ahead and save this here. Give me one moment. And I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to get to the comments in a minute. This is something that's nearest and dearest to my heart. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about the truth, you know, what's going on in the so-called black community, because these so-called phony leaders, they're not doing it, ladies and gentlemen. They are not going to do it because, once again, they are the grifters, the great grifters, right? This is what they do. They grift off of who? Off of black folks, right? Keep them enslaved, keep them fear, right? And all the rest of stuff. Manufacture Ku Klux Klan. They have fooled black folks for years thinking that that Ku Klux Klan, modern day Ku Klux Klan really exists. When we looked at the Southern Poverty Law Center, they were behind all that stuff, right? So going back to the situation here, ladies and gentlemen, let me see here. Can I do this? Because I'm going to go ahead and put this up on Obama as well, too. You got to know the truth, right? Because that's the problem, though, man. You know what I'm saying? We got too much of lies and deceit, man. I mean, that's the thing about it. Boy, I tell you, lies and deceit. Lies and deceit, ladies and gentlemen. And that's exactly what it is. Just give me one moment. Oops. I don't want to replace that. Let me just put that as 2. All right. All right. Now what we're going to do here. All right, so let me go ahead and go back here. And I appreciate it. I'm going to come to the chat in a minute, guys. Just give me one moment here, you know. All right, let me see here. All right, let's go ahead and do this here. Go ahead and pull up. I want everyone to see this though too. So you can go and look this up for the what is this the 18 U.S. code and things. I want you guys to look this stuff up, for yourself, what that really means. This is why I bang on Obama so hard, right? And he ain't the only one. T.D. Jakes, Al Sharpton. Nothing good gonna come from these people, right? You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why they are all responsible. This is the reason why black men are considered weak today, man. It's really sad, but true. I had to tell the truth in regards to what it is, though, man. I appreciate a lot of you guys are in the chat, though, that back this up. You know what I'm saying? Whites and others, I get it. I know why you can't really comment because we already know what it is. Even though right now, though, here it is. I want you guys to look at this right here, right? Of course, this is the younger Obama. You know what I'm saying? I probably would say that he probably might be in his 30s and stuff, maybe late 30s. Look at all that black hair, right? But Barack Hussein Obama, look at the right here, 18 U.S. Code 3284. This is seditious conspiracy is what that means. Number 2, 18 U.S. Code 2381 is for treason, right? Nobody is making this stuff up on this, man. If you were to look this stuff up and what it means, I've been saying when a person levy, right, against America and consolidate and on the side of our enemies. And this is what this man did, right? These are things, right, and other things. But I just want to pull that up as a side note before I go back into our real thing. I just want to put this up here right now so you guys understand and know what it is. Why is this man in trouble and so forth? Now, let's go to the comments, and then I go back into my thing, though. I got to acknowledge my mod squad. Hold on for a minute. Boy, I tell you, man. Where they at? Okay, here it is. Okay. All right, we got a couple of super chats. Let me get the super chats out the way first, and then we'll go for them. We got Hillbilly Patriot. Boy, Hillbilly Patriot, I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and post you up. We're going to put Hillbilly Patriot up there. Let me move myself out the way here. Yeah, so I'll put myself right here. Hillbilly Patriot came through, right? He says, let me read what he says. Y'all see it right here. Facts, right? Facts. And I appreciate the likes. Facts, right? This is why we are not respected in our so-called community, right? Because the men have been reduced to being little boys. And they always, besides feminine, they're always emotional, emotional male, right? It's what the black woman produced when you remove the man out of the home. Everybody know it by now, right? Because when you look at the shooting and the cut down in the streets, it's brothers on brothers. Everybody know it ain't no big secret, right? You trying to bleed black coal for what? When everybody know the truth, all you got to do is watch the news. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my goodness. Boy, I tell you, man. Even Obama, this guy was raised by who? Single mama, stepfather, and y'all know the rest, though. And this is one of the reasons as to why, right? This is one of the it ain't no shocker. This is what produced here, Can't be a black straight man. Got to be a black. He ain't even black anyway. He's only half black. It's not a black man. He got a white mama. Let us not forget about this. The reason I'm bringing this up because we have to acknowledge the other half. We're talking about his mother was white and his father is black. And things like that. So saying otherwise is really a slap in the face and disrespect of the other race. You have to acknowledge both. He's biracial. Nothing wrong with that. You ain't attacking him because he's biracial. That's besides the point. It's irrelevant, right? But we look at his actions, right? And I'm going to keep it up here. And this is what it is. That way you guys that don't know, you can go and look this stuff up yourself, right? This is why people don't like this guy. When you are a treasonous person and sellout, and I'm using him as my poster child for what we're talking about here, right? This is very, very sad and serious about the state of black men in America, man. It's really, really sad. Let me go ahead and get back on the comments here before I start going on it again. Hold on for a minute. I want to acknowledge people in the room. I appreciate that. We have let's see here. Hold on for a minute. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Give me one moment. All right. Let me see here. Here people saying I've been muted. Random. Okay, you said I've been muted. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I appreciate it, guys. I'm muted myself. Sorry about that. So you guys didn't hear nothing I said earlier in the monologue, and I apologize though. No audio. Thank you, guys. All right, let me go back in here again. I'm gonna have to edit this one, boy. I tell you. Sorry about that, guys. So let's go in and go back to what I was talking about. Before I do, I see Damage is here. Coconuts Are Real is here. Appreciate you guys telling me that I ain't have no audio. Appreciate that, man. Sorry about that. All right. Sorry about that. You know, y'all know when I get on, we got Linda back in the house. Welcome back, Linda K. All right. Let me say, give my shout outs. Boy, yeah, that audio was gone. Did y'all hear Pastor Manning by chance or no? Did y'all hear Pastor Manning by any chance? I'm just curious. I know y'all didn't hear me. But did y'all hear Pastor Manning? Because I can redo him here again, though, you know. You guys are waiting, man. I said I was going to have like a fire of a show, you know what I'm saying? Okay. But I can redo it again. I'm going to redo it again, you know. And see, and this guy here, go ahead and remove Eager 67. You can remove him out of the chat because we already know when he put that R on the end, that ER, you know what that means, though, you know? It's even worse. We got Big John in the house. The one with the Netscape logo, get him on out of here. Yep, get him up on out of here because he ain't bringing nothing good to the chat of what we're talking about here, boy. Yep. Okay, you back, Damage? Okay, sorry about that, man. I had a little issue with the audio. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Let me go ahead and blaze them on up. I'm gonna keep this other photo over here of Obama up here as well too, because people got to know the truth in regards to what he's been accused of doing. And then we talked about that the other day. What was it? Russia hoax and stuff like that. To overthrow, set up a coup. And all the rest of that type of stuff, you know, Steele dossier, all that stuff, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back into this, guys. So let's go ahead and break it down. So Pastor Manning, I don't know what you guys have heard, and I'm gonna play it again, though, right? Manning drops truth bombs on the worst crop of black men in the 50 years, is what he was saying. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Some Random Guy Speaks, the No Holds Barred podcast where we cut through the noise and reject the lies and speak the truth, right? I'm your host, Tony Love. Today, we'll be diving into something raw, something real, long overdue. We're talking about a black pastor in Harlem, right? In New York, Pastor James Davis Manning of the ATLAH World Ministry Church, right? He has had enough. He went off on what he calls the worst crop of black men ever raised on the American soil in the last 50 years. And as a brother and sister, he didn't hold it back, you know. And brothers and sisters, he didn't hold it back. He did not. And others, he did not hold it back. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and let's get into this, right? And I apologize for no audio, right? You're going to have to put some markers down, make some comments in there and tell them where the audio picked up at. I may have to do that myself. This one is going to sting, but truth often does, right? All right, here we go. All right, you know, we've been watching Pastor Manning for a while. Some of you guys probably never heard of him. That's cool. The man doesn't sugarcoat anything, just like I don't. In his recent sermon, right? In his sermon, he looked at the black community and said, we have produced the least productive, the most imprisoned, the most violent, and the most irresponsible generation of black men since 1619, right? Let's break down the facts, not feelings. Post-civil rights era, right? After Dr. Martin Luther King and after the marches, After the Great Society program, that's the one with 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson, what happened? Well, let me get some water. Hold on for a minute. Oops. Let's get some water here because it's about to get bumpy again. According to Manning and backed by numbers, right? Black fatherless exploded, right? After 65, it exploded. Single motherhood became the norm. Crime rates in many cities skyrocketed, right? Prison population filled with who? Young black men in personal responsibility. Boy, I tell you, it took a backseat to blame the government and dependency, which in fact, they were the ones that caused it, right? We talking about left-leaning Democrat policies, right? Pastor Manning points the finger right where it belongs, at the breakdown of the family. He says these men were largely raised by mothers who thought no fault of their own sometimes, didn't know how to raise a boy into strong, into strong men. Fathers were absent, either in prison, on the streets, or just gone, right? And the culture poisoned by the so-called leaders. And those be the black leaders like Al Sharpton, T.D. Jakes, and the list goes on though, you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, ain't this something though? I tell you, man. So yeah, so as we go into it a little bit further, right? At the time when Jesse Jackson was alive, Al Sharpton, but this is what Pastor Manning said. The race hustlers who made millions keeping keeping people angry, that would be blacks, and voting Democrat, T.D. Jakes, and the mega preachers, prosperity gospel crowd, promising blessings while the pews stay broken, right? Oh my goodness. And Barack Obama, he calls him a long-legged Mac Daddy, as Manning calls him held up as a ultimate role model while pushing policies that weaken the families ever since. That's exactly correct. Because Obama had every opportunity, as I said before, because of his black and white, he could have bridged the gap, not bridged the gap, but actually brought in the black and white together. He didn't do that. He actually distanced it. He made it even worse, though. Everybody say Trump did. He did not. Trump is fixing it. Obama have started it, right? Manning says black women today have a harder time finding a good man than ever before. Yeah, because a lot of men don't want to be bothered with them. I'm talking about black men alone. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, it's a headache. It's like we don't know what we're going to get. We don't know what type. I mean, they come with children, baggage, and other type of psychological, other type of things, which is saddened, right? Because of the left-leaning parties that created this stuff. And since they have been all brainwashed, because they got, let's say, the set-aside programs, they gave them, phony independence. It was really dependency on the government when we talk about welfare and all this other stuff, set them up in Section 8 housing or whatever you may call it or whatever like that. But it's a metro, some parts of the country, they may call it metro. Y'all have names for this stuff, SNAP benefits, all the rest of the stuff, right? This is what they have done. They put a bridge the gap. I'm talking about the Democratic government, the party system, right? On the left, they put a wedge gap between black men and women. They gave black men, women a choice. They said, hey, if you have a baby, don't worry about relying on your black men. We'll take care of that black child, and the rest is history. It's so complicated now. I was having this conversation, excuse me, I was having this conversation with a Palestinian guy, which is a good friend of mine. And I know they got their issues, right? When I told him about our issues, right? And the only thing he could say is to shake his head, man. He said, and I told him it's very complicated, man. And I said, when you got a group of people that's been on the receiving end, talking about black women, that have been on the receiving end for so long, right? They look at the Democrats as the best thing since sliced bread, They don't realize that by being on the receiving end, giving up dependency for independency, you know what I'm saying? And this is the reason why the so-called black community today is crap today. You go into any major big city across the United States, right? You're going to see a ghetto. You're going to see dilapidated neighborhoods. I say this over and over. You're going to see crime, violence, drugs, prostitution, underserved communities, right? And disenfranchisement. You're going to see all this stuff, right? This stuff, unfortunately, is the truth. It's many what the Democrats and the left-leaning policy created in the first place, right? This is the reason why our men today are so weak today. They lack responsibility, they lack accountability, right? And because of the single mama that raised these guys, right? Where you got the undercover brothers and others, you know what I'm saying, type of deal. You know who I'm talking about, right? So they put this stuff together though, man. And they don't want to take no accountability whatsoever. This is why I say, man, he as Pastor Manning said, you will have a better chance of getting to the moon than finding a good black woman today. And my friend said that too, man. He said, finding a good black woman today, it's like taking a needle in a haystack. You got 15 barrels of hay. Put them all together and then throw that needle in there and say, go find it. You have a better chance of hitting the lottery, Mega Millions, right? Powerball. And I'm just being really real. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it is. They running around here calling themselves queens and goddesses and all this other stuff. And that's not queen stuff at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this grandiose title, entitlement type stuff. And instead of just saying, hey, we don't have a community, right? And then they all fix themselves that they too good. They broke as a joke, but they too good to even date a man, right? That's an average earning brother, right? We know that black men in this country average between $40,000 to $45,000 a year. When you go and look it up, that's the median, right? For black men, right? White men is $50,000 to $55,000, right? Hispanic men, what is it, $30,000 to $40,000, right? But they want to fix their nose. They want to turn up or whatever, say that he ain't earning enough and making enough, right? That's the average of what a black man weighs. I'm talking about a man over $100,000. That's rare. For you to marry a guy like that, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But this is how bad it is, ladies and gentlemen. They're so delusional, they don't even understand how the world works because they have been lied to. I'm talking about a lot of these black women, and they have been lied to, seriously. You know, there was a guy named Kevin Samuels, man. You know, he passed away, heart complications, right? He was giving these black women a game back then. We're talking about 2019. He blew up under COVID, right? This guy had 1 million subscribers, right? He was giving these women advice on a lot of things, sisters and others, right? And now a lot of them rejected him. They hated Kevin Samuels, right? And that's the thing about it. He was trying to tell them, and others was trying to tell these women, right? They act as if they got it going on. They don't like when we're talking about nice men, right? They're not looking for all that. You know, scammers, ballers, and all the rest of them. They letting you know. Majority of them do. They all think that we talking about 72% of black women single with children, right? And make it sound like that's a beautiful thing to have, like that's a badge of honor. The shame have gone out of the window. Nobody telling them, ain't nobody shaming these black women saying this and that. Back in the days, they would have. Today, it's all good. It's so norm. It's the norm now. This is the stuff that Pastor Manning was saying. Dr. James Davis, Manning, pastor. This is the stuff that he was talking about, right? He reminded me of old school of what we grew up listening to. This stuff that he was talking about was the norm. But now they act like it's so foreign. You know what I'm saying? Like because it's shocking. They ain't never really heard of older black men, right, with strength, telling the truth in regards to what it is. So let me go ahead and go a little bit further. So Jesse Jackson, right, before he passed away, because he was responsible. Al Sharpton, the race hustler who made millions keeping black people angry and voting Democrat, right? T.D. Jakes, right? The mega preachers, prosperity gospel crowds promising blessings while the pews stay broken. And Barack Obama, he called him a long-legged Mac Daddy, right? Right? As Manning called him, right? calls him and holds up in an ultimate role model while pushing what? Policies that weaken families even more. Manning says that black women today have a harder time finding a good man than ever before. It's the truth. They have a hard time finding a good man today. That's an actual fact. Notice I said good man. I ain't talking about no thug and no scammer or some old slick, playboy and all the rest of stuff a lot of men are attracted to, right? She said they're going to have a hard time. He said it's even, he said jokingly, painfully, that a sister will have a better luck finding a husband on the moon. Now that tells you something right there. Finding a husband on the moon, we have a better chance. No, it's a joke, right? I would say they have a better chance at hitting the lottery, Mega Millions, Powerball, right? That's how bad this have gotten. More black men in prison right now than ever before, right? Than ever enslaved in America. That's telling. That is huge. Higher rates of violence, lower marriage rates. I know it's under 30%. Last that I checked, it's under 30%. At one time, man, we was married at 80%. If you look at pre-60s, 50s, 40s, black people were married over 80% rate. Facts, right? The generation that have been told to blame whitey, as what Manny said, you know what I'm saying, instead of looking in at the mirror, right? Right? So here it is, though, man. This is the thing about it, though. It's time for these young black men to stand up and take your rightful ownership as the leader. The woman ain't supposed to be leading you. You're supposed to be leading her. It says so in the Bible, right? Anytime you're going to fall, you're falling on your own sword. Black on black crime is 97%. Don't let nobody else tell you otherwise, right? Because we know that the Dems, they've been in power longer. They've been cooking the books. And you got some people that actually believe that black people don't kill at 97%. This is crazy. The FBI statistics are out today if you were to look it up, right? So that's like Manning said, FBI crime data, the CDC fatherless numbers, it's all there, right? Census marriage rates way down low. They back this stuff up. The Democrat Party and these so-called leaders, right, have turned strong families into government clients, right, which is a government of dependency. There's a government that have created this for black people to be what? Dependent on who? The Democrats forever. Because the Democrats don't teach you how to fish. They just believe in giving you a fish. And many black people think because of these government subsidies, programs that black women are getting, it's not free. It's coming from the taxpayers, like you and me. You guys know this, right? This is what the socialist bull crap stuff that they have created, right? They have created dependency, and this is why they're going to be forever broke in poverty, right? They teach poverty. Oh, wish for a hope and a prayer, keep hope alive and all this other stuff, instead of giving you the tools to be independent, right? That's what matters. You think these Dems are going to teach you that? Absolutely not. That's the thing about it. The people you vote for, especially on the left, right? The leftist is the problem, right? Because they taught you how to be a socialist, Marxist, and even communist. And this is why you see a lot of black people as well, low impoverished people. They hate millionaires and billionaires. They hate anybody that's doing better than them. Am I right? Right? This is what they teach. They teach this type of mindset, victimhood, right? This hopelessness. That's one of the reasons why they want to go out here and vamp, meaning to rob someone else and even shoot someone else down, cut each other down. 97% black on black crime, man. It's something else. So Manning said he's calling for repentance, right? As well as righteousness and responsibility, man. The 3 R's right there. He said he's tired of excuses, right? Tired of the hustle, right? Tired of watching people suffer under bad ideas, meaning bad policies. I take it a step further, Pastor Manning. These are bad leftist policies once again, right? There's nothing good can ever come from this stuff, right? Right? It's designed to keep you enslaved, keep you angry, keep you fearful, right? That's why you have the average black person that don't go to certain places because they think that the Klansman is going to be there. That's what they think. I've had these conversations all the time. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? Boy, boy, boy. But here's my take as some random guy. This message isn't hate. It's about tough love. Coming from your man, yours truly, who has been in the trenches for decades, right? Because I came from the black community. I know how it goes. You know, every community has its problems, but ignoring them or blaming outsiders forever keep us what? Stuck. Black Americans have incredible potential if they were to look at the history, challenge some things, to learn to be the stand-up man. There's a lot of mentor programs that you can get involved with, man. You know what I'm saying? For once, you need to put down the rap music. All that stuff is just leading you nowhere, man. You know what I'm saying? And look at the guy. There's a lot of it's just, you know what I'm saying? If that's your preference, but we got to have some, it got to be some stand-up brothers left. I'm talking about this young generation. Like I said, Pastor Manning said from 1 year old up to 50 years old, he said no good. He said they are the worst. Those are the worst when it comes down to black men, man. And that's saying a lot. The worst. Lack accountability, lack responsibility, emotional males, quick to pop off, quick to fight, quick to shoot, quick to kill, right? This is the thing that's going on, right? We make up jail lockup well over 50%. Everybody knows this, right? This is the thing about it, right? So when you sitting behind bars and you got a child, and this is one of the other reasons, right? So when they go in young, 18, 19, 20, and things like that, look at Carmelo Anthony. This is the thing about it, though, man. Look at his situation, right? He ended up taking out that boy Austin Metcalf, man. Stabbed him right in the heart, man. And you got little fanfare from Austin Metcalf at all. The guy, that's a young dude too. He lost his life over this type of crap. You know what I'm saying? I talked about this with Carmelo Anthony before. Now they got the group that's speaking out against it. They raised all this money. It was just terrible, man. This is the type of stuff. Another emotional male. You know what I'm saying? He had options and choices. He didn't have to go up there to that school and bring no knife. He premeditated that. He said he was going to stab this guy. I'm going to stab this guy. I'm going to stab this guy. And he did. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, when the black men, some of these young guys, like he said, between 1 year old all the way up to 50 years old, they don't know how to diffuse an argument or what we call a disagreement. They go from 0 to 60 just like that. I've seen it growing up, right? This is the thing about it, though, right? This is where the problem is. And guess who's out there cheering them on? It's the black woman without a father. Because if the father was in the home, he would have told them otherwise. Because as a man, we all know as a man, we know what that's going to lead to, right? You got to have discipline for yourself. The fighting is the last resort. Let that be protecting yourself, not offensively going out here and doing something by doing somebody some bodily harm. You know, that's the problem, though. If these guys that sitting, they said they ran a statistic, right? They did a study, right? The study stated that at least out of 100% of men, 80 some odd percent of them did not have a father in the home. That's why they're in the prison system now. Right? You think they want to tell these statistics out here today? Absolutely not. The fatherless America, right? There's others that talked about it. Tommy Sotomayor talked about it many years ago. He still talks about it. There's others that talk about it. The fatherless America, ladies and gentlemen, right? He even created a documentary about it, right? But it doesn't get any type of traction or fanfare. Why? Right? These are the problems. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up here again. This is the reason I just want to put Obama up over here too, just for a side note again. So therefore you'll understand why this guy right here, why the seditious conspiracy, why it's the treason, right, of what he's been accused of, right? That's why I showed that other photo. It was Obama being handcuffed by the FBI. I didn't create that. That was created by yours truly, Trump. He created that 2 years ago off of Truth Social, I believe. So all I did is just copy it and paste it, you know. Now I got something else here. So therefore you could guys, man, look up these US codes for yourself. So yeah, so other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and look at the comments and stuff. I'm gonna have to play Manning again, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. What's he say? He's lying. Where did he get these stats? See, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about right here. And obviously she's a black woman. Whether if that's her real avatar photo is another story. But the thing about it is that she is already triggered. I'm gonna tell you this already, like many of them. It is the responsibility, and the problem is coming from these single black women, right? And let me go ahead and pull up Manning again. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna put this over here to the side for a moment. Oops. Let me go ahead and do this here. Oops. Let me go ahead and close out of this. I get on Rhonda in a minute. Just give me in one moment. I get on her in a minute, though. Just one moment. I'm gonna pull up Pastor Manning again. Here we go. I played it earlier, though. But let's go and play him again. Here we go, right here. Please stick around, Rhonda. Maybe you'll learn something. Here we go. Oh, hold on for a minute. That's the wrong one. Hold on. Give me one moment. I want her to stick around over here, man. The day of the white man is over. I like that one too, though, because right now, Pastor Manning is really preaching accountability and responsibility. Accountability and responsibility for black folks, you know, and that's the thing about it. They don't teach this type of stuff. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and play this video here. Hey, Rhonda, you stick around. Maybe you'll learn something.
Roaring line, crying out, righteousness. I want to continue a reference, and I have been going through that.
Hold on for one moment here. I think, is this the right one here? Oh, yeah, it is. It's the right one. Okay.
At the worst stock of black men that have ever been raised on American soil have been raised over the last 50 years. We have the least productive, the most vile, the most imprisoned, the most violent, the least responsible black man. We've been here since 1619, allegedly, to some of the people that keep track of the first coming to America by black people in terms of slavery. But even in slavery, I mean, we were able to raise Nat Turner and Frederick Douglass. You can say what you want about them in terms of post-slavery and, you know, if you will, abolitionists and post-abolitionists. But the worst case, the worst crop of black men ever have been raised over the last 50 years. And if you know a black man who's between the age right now of 1 and 50, he is a part of the worst generation of black men that have ever walked upright on American soil. He's the least protective of his family. He is the poorest. He is the most homeless. He is the most imprisoned. His sons have been shot down and killed. He has been shot down and killed. He has been raised by his mother, who doesn't know how to raise a man. His father has perpetuated the situation, and his mother still looking for somebody to love her, looking for a man. There ain't no man. The worst marital conditions for the black woman on planet Earth in terms of finding a husband has never been as bad. A black woman would be more productive finding a husband on the moon than she will on planet Earth. Years ago, going back 50, 60 years ago, when black men were men, the average black girl, 17, 18, 19 years old, would have at least 3 or 4 men proposing to her. She'd have that many men want to marry her. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Every black woman knows this. The black men that have been raised over the last 50 years, raised by the civil rights movement, raised by the likes of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, later on with T.D. Jakes and Obama, and the so-called mega preachers, the black woman knows you can't find a man. I don't care how good you look, how tight your skirt, how low the cut on your bra, how pushed up your bra is. You can't find no man out there. Now, he ain't there. Now, there are plenty of them sleeping on the street. There are plenty of them in prison. And there are plenty of them that have turned fairies There are plenty of men out there looking for men too. There are plenty of black men looking. There might be more black men out there looking for a black man than the black woman. It's a mess. It's a scream, I tell you. It's a scream. And why is this so? Because of the cultural, if you will, the failure of truth, the failure of the churches, the failure of the politicians, the failure of the mothers and fathers to follow the tradition. When that civil rights movement hit, that Dr. King movement hit, black people went buck wow. I mean, they went buck wow. After Shirley Chisholm and Adam Clayton Powell, they went buck wow. Crazy liberals, if you will, giving up and expecting the government to do everything for them, hating white folk and marching up and down, burning down buildings like they're starting fires. I mean, the black family went buck wow. They think I'm crazy. Because I keep telling you, but look at where you are. Are you a black woman? I don't care how good looking you are, you long hair and long legs and a nice fanny and a protruding breast. You can't, ain't no black man out there. The black man you're looking at is looking at the black man in the next cubby in the office. He's looking at the man too. It's a scream. It's the worst condition on planet Earth. There's never been a time when the black family have been so destroyed. And this is the reason being is when you lift up somebody like that Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, I mean, even Ray Charles could see that man was funny than a $3 bill. And he wasn't even black, raised up in Hawaii as a surfer and spent the first 9 years of his life in Indonesia being raised by a tranny who had cut off his junk. And Obama was in the house with that tranny day in and day out when he was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old with that tranny. You call that your first black president? You sickos, you black people. You sick. You know, okay, so he'll go find a black man. Black children ain't got no fathers. And then I try to talk to the mothers. He's supposed to make us feel good. He's supposed to be putting people down. So, I would want to say that to you. I think it's very important that I do, that you understand that that's a condition, and God has called me to raise up men of righteousness. I don't expect most of y'all agree with that. Most of y'all are just as stupid, sick, poor, imprisoned, impotent as you could possibly be. And some of you black men out there couldn't make a woman excited about you. You couldn't ring her bell. If you had the Liberty Bell from Philadelphia when they were ringing that bell during the days of freedom, you couldn't ring that woman's bell because there ain't nothing inside of you to ring no woman's bell. It's a mess, I tell you. Talking about Obama, your first black president. That's Sylvester Houston down in Houston is your mayor. You ain't got nothing? Can't do nothing. Ain't got no money. Broke. Talking about Al Sharpton is a great leader. What a bunch of sickos y'all are. So you don't like Pastor Man, is that right? Well, we ain't for the black man. I sure ain't for y'all. God knows I ain't. Lord have mercy. And anybody that's for you done lost their mind. But I will say this, that I am calling men to righteousness. You come to this ministry, you're going to have to come in, sit down, take 2 or 3 years, just sit down and listen. Don't come in there talking that talk. Come in talking that black talk. You want to get straight. You want to be able to raise your children. And the woman, I've been telling women, you mothers, y'all the ones that have raised these awful children. Your children, mothers, right now you got sons anywhere between 1 and 25 years old or 35 years old. His son's going to be just like your son. It is a perpetual situation that just keeps repeating itself. And if your son happens to meet a woman, and she gets hooked up with your son, he gonna do her just like his father did you. It ain't gonna change. And yet you don't want to hear what I have to say. Is that right? You're gonna go to T.D. Jakes, who set the woman loose, and I told y'all T.D. Jakes said to the woman inside of him, "Woman, thou art loose." And he pulled that woman out of him. T.D. Jakes, right? Pulled that woman out of Eddie Long, out of Will Smith, out of LeBron James. Anyway. So these things are critically important for us, and I am on the mission for Almighty God. I understand that people are not going to listen to what I say. They didn't listen to Jesus, but I'm going to say it. And I thank God for those of you who do. And I thank God for those of you who, this is Pastor Man telling the truth, especially those of you who know that it ain't going to get better. You need to step up beside me and said, all right, Pastor Man, I'm willing to submit myself to you. And let's try to get some things done together. I think it'll be very important for that.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's coming from, yours truly, Pastor James, right, Davis, Manny, right? Boy, I tell you, man, So, yeah, man, so I just wanted to bring that up once again. I know I had problems with the audio earlier, and I'm going to go back over here and look at the comments in a minute. But, yeah, but before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we know we can
Can we get to 100 likes? Let's go, MAGA.
I appreciate it, Shalandra. I appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and do it here. All right, so we're going to look at these comments here real quick, and then we're going to go down on here and get to cooking some more, Get to cooking, you know what I'm saying? Boy, he said a bad echo now. Hold on for a minute. All right. Yeah, I got some things. Am I echoing now? Tell me, am I echoing? Am I still echoing now? I just need to know. I was afraid of that. Tell me if I'm echoing right now. Shouldn't be. Let me see. Wasn't directed at you. Okay, that's man. Okay, man. USA won, man. Shout out to my mom. Not anymore. Okay, perfect. Okay, I appreciate it, Big John. Shout out to Big John as well. Big John in the house. Hold on for a minute. Coconuts are real good now. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have a little problem with the audio here, but I got it together now. Let me go ahead. Let me see. Let me put that up and put myself up over here a little bit. Good now? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and post some of the comments. Only the good ones get posted, you know what I'm saying? But I look at all comments overall, you know what I'm saying? Man, my God's eyes in the sky, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I appreciate it, Mitch. Mitch says I'm good. Big John says I'm good. All right. Let me see here, man. Let me just go and scroll back up, Sarah. But let me see here. But telling the truth is not racist. Is not being racist. That's true though, Sarah. But what they have did coming from the Democrat Party, because they love to use race. And this is one of the things. This is why Obama wasn't being attacked by you guys. Obama couldn't do no wrong. And if you spoke out against Obama, remember in his presidency, who called you a racist, right? And they do this on purpose to back people up. But what do they do with people that look like me and so forth, right? See, they call us self-hating blacks, right? But I don't care about any of that stuff, The facts are the facts, you know what I'm saying? So I can say it. I don't have no problems about saying it at all. I can say it, right? And I'm going to continue saying it, right? Because it needs to be talked about. Boy, I tell you, man. So, yeah, that's got a comment coming from Man USA 1 and things. Let me see here. Go back down here through the comments. All right. Let's see here. Glad I'm not echoing anymore. That's a good thing. Let me see here. Let me see here. Go down and things like that. Look at that here. We got Dark City 2004. Dark City says, hold on, let me post this up here too. Hold on for a minute. I'm going to post this for Dark City. Welcome back, Dark City. Dark City says, I'm a black man and I'm married to a black woman. That's a good thing, though. Like I said, if it, for the present, if it don't apply, let it fly, as the old saying goes. You know what I'm saying? If it don't apply, let it fly. I know a lot of black men that are married to black women and things like that. But I'm saying, though, we have a problem in our community, right, that need to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? And when I address it, I'm not scared about somebody telling me, oh, you Uncle Ruckus, you sell out. And what it is that because in this word, when you got ministers, and Pastor Manning is not the only one that have led this crusade out. There's other black men that have led this crusade out. Tommy Soda, some of you guys may follow him and know about that. There's other people that have led that same continue with the quest fight out here, Ice baby, I love it. Ice baby, we got to bring back ice. You know what I'm saying? We got to bring back ice. Let me see here. Let me see. Obama is the worst president. Yep. Let me go ahead and post that though too, Lord. All right. See what he has to say up there, I'm going to read to you. He says Obama was the worst president to keep things divided. When in the 90s, No one cared about what race you were, right? And now, 2026, people think the only thing that matters is what race you are. Yeah, they learned that from the demo KKK rats. I never talk about race because it doesn't. You got certain groups of people, a lot of liberals, especially blacks, that love bringing up race all of the time. Race, 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 right? Race is something that they have learned, that they have used as a tool coming from the left, right, and the far left, right, because it divides people. It keeps people divided, right? And then they can put out this phony propaganda as to why, so-and-so groups don't have anything. See, it takes the spotlight off of the Democrats, right? They are the ones that created the whole thing, just like they were behind the Southern Poverty Law Center, right, which was funding the racism. They were funding the Ku Klux Klan. They kept this stuff, stoking it. And then what they do is that they put these victim people, talking about victimhood people, they scare them to death. Yeah, the Klan, every time. They do this on purpose, ladies and gentlemen. It's really terrible. Paul, oh yeah, I see Paul is in the house. Let me go and acknowledge Paul over here, Hold on for a minute. Good to have you back, Paul. My toilet paper has Iran leaders on it. I know that's right. Wipe that toilet paper with their behind all on it. Their face and everything, boy, I tell you. Paul, yep, let me see here. Here he is. Paul Salas says, here's what Obama sent Iran, cash, right? He's what Trump sent, right? Yeah, because Obama, we all know that Boeing jet that was hollowed out, we're talking about a pallet full of cash. I do believe it was $1.7 billion sent to Iran, right? This is the thing. This is why I had his photo of him up there. No, I want my naysayers and detractors. I dare you guys to go look that up. I dare you go look it up. Yep. Let me see here. Right. Let me see. Let me see here. Paul is in the house. That's what man says. Let me see here. Yeah, Daniel says socialism and communism destroyed Venezuela economy. So true. Let me post that up here as well too. Yeah, it's very, very true. Yeah, it's very, very true. Yeah, Barack Hussein Obama. Let me see here. Let me see here. I got to turn that phone off. Big John, let me see here. YouTube says Hussein Obama. That explains everything. Big John says MAGA will win and stand together. You're absolutely right about that, Big John. I got to post it. You are absolutely correct about that, sir. Right? Let me see here. Sarah says, my white neighbor hates people who have money, but they don't want to work, or they don't want to work. They teach their kids that is okay, all right, and not to work, right? Baby broke, all broken mad, right? She said her white neighbor. Yeah, it's got some whites that think like this, but this is like the mantra of most blacks in the inner cities, though. This is how they think. I've been around this crap all my life, victimhood, all my life, blame other races of people why they broke and all the rest of that stuff, go on hating other groups of people. It's a fact in regards to the stuff. This is why we in this space right now, right? I'm just reading your comments here, trying to catch up a little bit. Let me see here, President. I'm just going backwards the other way. Let me see here. You said President Obama made ignorant statements that if he had a son, he would look like Trayvon. I remember that, but everyone knows that Trayvon was a thug, right? That's the thing. That's what he put up here. We're going to put this up here. Talking about Trayvon Martin. That whole situation went south, man. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do. And he's not even here anymore. It's just really sad. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Obama ruined race relations. You got that right. Obama, right? President Obama weaponized the IRS against the Tea Party. Facts. Yep, coming after people. This is what they do on the left, though. These are radical, sick people coming from the left. Boy, I tell you, man. Right. He says, black men trying to act white, get a job, man. And see, this is another sensitive brother right here. What's wrong? You need a hug? Yeah, 'cause I can arrange it if you need a hug. You know what I'm saying? So sensitive. See, they can't even take the truth, you know. They've been shielded all their life, man. He probably come from another broken family home, you know what I'm saying in regards to that. Oh, my goodness, though, you know. And they want me to do the research for them. You do your own research. You go and look it up. Right? You ain't gonna believe it if I pull up the stats anyway, which be a waste of time. That's the whole thing about it, though, man. It's a big waste of time, ladies and gentlemen. You know, because they're not gonna believe it. Just like they won't believe with Obama, why he has the treason and so forth, right? We talking about treason and everything else. And should I need to pull that photo back up? Do I need to do that? I can. You know what I'm saying? But this is the type of stuff right here. They won't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. It's sad. Right? Yep. What do you say? Samuel says it's going to hurt. You think so? Yep. I give you something where you appear to pass out, and then I still give you a hug. How about that? Samuel, you know, I give you a sedative, you know. You'll be all right when you wake up. Boy, I tell you, Sarah says, I tell my kids, if you don't make enough on your first job, get the second job. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And just be honest, though. We shouldn't have to be doing 2 or 3 jobs, but in this case, because we have a long-standing failed policies coming from the progressives, these old low-down communist Democrat parties and stuff like that, where they have actually shipped a lot of jobs overseas, though, mess with our livelihood and things like that. This is why the young people right now don't really have, they have it pretty bad right now, but it's failed policies, man, and then they want to tell us that we got to get out here. I mean, we do what we got to do, but I'm just saying the reason as to why we had to do this. This is crazy. Big John says, if politicians are not going to bring us together, then the people should bring themselves together. You're absolutely right, though, Big John. I'm all for about people bringing themselves together, but you got a violent batch of people that don't want themselves to come together, you know. That's the thing about it, though, because the left-leaning policies, right, that we always go over, right, being the victimhood, shaming and blaming and the need to be right, right, they hate other groups of people. Everybody is coming over here, taking advantage of being in America. But it's sad that blacks are the only ones that's not taking advantage. And I'm talking about as a group, not individuals, right? Individuals know what I'm talking about that are black. It's the group of them, right? You know, this is where the problem is. Blaming everybody but their own situation, right? You have, like I said, you can be, do, and have as long as you are an American, man. You know, that's the thing about it, you know. I can tell Samuel is a brother, though, too, man. You know, he's bothered by the hat. He's bothered about the fact that many of y'all support Trump. He's bothered. I'm talking about Samuel. Samuel Ward here, you know. Samuel is very upset because he don't like the fact of being when I talk about accountability and responsibility, he gets triggered. He doesn't like that type of stuff, right? He doesn't like it at all, right? He wants you to be in here as a special victim, right? To feel sorry for him, to blame racism. Ain't that right, Samuel? To blame racism. Is that what it is? You know, that's why I can't get ahead as a black man. No woman would marry me and stuff like that. Is that what it is? I done heard it all before from the brothers, right? They go in this red PO community. Ain't that right? Manosphere community. Start hating on the sisters. Ain't that right? Oh, man, boy. Not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out because it's all in their head is all they're thinking. You can't tell them otherwise, though, man. You can't tell them otherwise, you know. Freedom says they have been spending manufacturing jobs since 1970. Yeah, because 71, they took us off the gold standard, right? That was under Nixon, right? But they took us off, he caved, but they took us off the gold standards. They created the petrodollar, you know what I'm saying? We already, you know what I'm saying? We know the history on this type of stuff. Petrodollar was created. Henry Kissinger set up the plan, set up OPEC and all the rest of this stuff. This is where all that stuff came from, right? Because they already knew inflation was shooting up, right? Remember that? Inflation was going up, and once again, government create inflation, not the people, not businesses. It's government overspending, right? It's something what the low-down Democrats have already done. They overspend, right? This is what they do, right? And then they raise the taxes to compensate, right? And the jobs are gone overseas. We had a lot of American companies at one time over here. Now they're coming back thanks to Trump. But the Democrats, a lot of them cannot run. They can't even govern themselves out of a wet paper bag, man. It says this is why we in this situation now. You know, from Jimmy Carter and all the rest of them, man. Look at it. It's terrible. Terrible, 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 man. Terrible. Let me see here. Ryan says Bill Clinton. I'm saying Cosby. Bill Clinton, NAFTA was the demise of the middle class. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, because I remember when that whole NAFTA thing, we as Americans got hosed on that, though, you know what I'm saying? But now Trump is in the process of correcting it. I do believe that now that he has the leverage, he's going to get rid of that whole system, though, you know, that whole Mexican, Canada, and the United States. There was no reason for that anyway, you know, because the largest producing country in the world was America, man, and the manufacturing. That's why he was saying it didn't make any sense to send automaking jobs like Ford and Chrysler over there to Canada in the first place. Why can't, when we only reason that we know this, we know that a lot of the jobs were outsourced, right? Because inflation was steady going up. They couldn't afford to pay the Americans at the rate that they were promised, right? So they send the jobs overseas, pay them pittance or crumbs, right? That's what they ended up doing. That's the only keep it real. And then they started bringing in more, right? Since in 69, 70, 71, they started bringing more of these people from other countries. They would be the ones to be willing to work at a lesser rate. Here it is. Here we are. These were left-leaning policies once again. Terrible, man. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Boy, look at that brother's profile right here. I see his picture with the glasses. Oh, my goodness. What's that? Gold Pinger. I know you've been in here before. Boy, look at that. He says Islamic Republic of Japan. Oh, my goodness. Let me see. Boy, that's something else. Woo, man, that's something else, man. I'm over here looking at that mountain here. Is that supposed to be Mount Everest? There, Mayor, is that Mario? Just curious. Sarah says, I taught my kids we were the working class. We go out and get a job. And if we have to get 2 jobs, then that's right. Yeah, exactly. That's just how we do. We don't cry about it. We do what we do. We have to do what we do, boy. I tell you. We got freedom over here. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I'm going to post that. Freedom. Do you know freedom? He said, do you know you're a coat? No, you would say, what's that, chit? He said, you know, you're the shit. I think he's supposed to mean, you know, you're the shit. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Freedom. You know, you're the shit. I try, man. I try to, you know. I try to do my best. Big John says, Tony, you can fix stupid from the left, right, from the far left. He said, you can't fix stupid. Yeah, Big John, I know I can't. And that's the thing about it. I never try to fix those guys on the left at all, man. A lot of them is just too far gone. They don't listen. They don't have the news that we have, you know. Real people, right, that listen to independent journalists, right, not the mainstream news. Because mainstream news is just going to, lie to them, right? It's a fact in regards to that, man. Yep. So here it is. Sarah says, I'm tough on my kids because I don't want them to give up on and be like all these other countries. Crap. I don't want them to do that. They need to have a family to go to work. You're absolutely right. You're teaching them right. And I bet you got a husband besides yourself, though, too. I bet you in things, though, because we already know, you know. A father, a provider, protector. This is the stuff that we used to understand in the black community, not anymore, when it's being led by a bunch of women, man. Terrible. Mario says, pain, man. No, he's not. He's winning. Yeah, you're right about that. He is winning. Boy, I tell you. Freedom says, here we are. I'm 60, and you know, and I know your face. Yep. Here we are, man. We are 60, man, and I know your face. Yeah. But yeah, though, see, that's the thing about it, though. You've been around for a while, Freedom. You understand what's going on, just like I understand what's going on, man. And in the so-called black community, it is the worst, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just like what Pastor Manning said, though, man. And he's an elder. Like I said, I gotta give a shout out to that brother in that church, because a lot of these other churches, man, they just get that 501c3 money. And it's what we call faith-based nonprofit. It's like hush money, because they're not allowed to speak out on the truth on this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what's going on here, man. Let me see here. Ryan says, retired, says, thanks to Trump, we have had 15,000 new manufacturing jobs, $25 an hour, more last quarter, 2-mile-long plants, and being built in Arizona, Texas, and Utah. You got that right. And many more, Ryan, as you already know, is coming. Because what Trump had to set up, he loved making deals. He made deals with everybody around the world, as well as our domestic, where the jobs should have been always here. It was the Democrats in NAFTA, right, and Clinton that pushed our jobs overseas. This is the reason, destroyed them all. You pretty much just decimated the middle class, right? So now that Trump has made deals, we got the tariffs in order to for them. He said American companies don't have to worry about tariffs if you make your plants and build your manufacturing here. Trump have brought in $8.4 trillion, and that's domestic as well as foreign businesses. This is how you get things done, you know. This is how you get things done. Yeah, Freedom, don't worry about the auto check. It happens to me sometimes, man. It really does. Salty says the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 is causing all Americans illegal migration problems. Trump is in the process, once again, to overturn that Supreme Court ruling on the ban or getting rid of the birthright citizenship, right? Because like I said before, we already see what's going on here, you know. They got billboards up there in Texas, right? They advertising this stuff, man. I said I was going to cover it on my next one. Probably I will. I just want to bring that up, though. It's being advertised, right, that they can come to America, right, and they can have birth, the child be born here, like what the Chinese been doing, right? They bring their women here, pregnant and all. When they have a baby, right, the baby is considered to be an American. And then they take them back to China and they introduce them into the brainwashing, you know, the CCP type mind camp stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because if you were born in China, you are bombarded with propaganda, right? Remember, they do not have the Constitution, they don't have the Bill of Rights, and they also don't have the 27 Amendments, right? What they have is something what Mao Zedong set up, right? The People's Republic of China, right? Where billions, was it 1.4 billion Chinese, right? They all have to listen to and accept the propaganda. They are not allowed to speak out against the Chinese government. They are not allowed to, they have a little capitalism, but not a whole lot. Everything is with the centralized government in China, right? Everything is centralized. They got cameras everywhere, listening devices everywhere. And if you speak out against Xi Jinping or anybody in government, they'll come on at your door. They'll come up there and arrest you. Their family will never see them again. And some people have had that happen to them. Some people had to flee out of the country because it's not tolerated to have this freedom of speech. This is why America is the greatest country on earth, because we have it here and other nations don't have it. Look at UK. Their privileges are being taken away from them. The thing with these European nations under the Commonwealth and all that will make America great because we rebelled. We actually rebelled for freedom. We didn't want to be under King George and the crown. 1776, we actually want to be our own independent nation. And look what's been rewarded. Canada could have done the same thing as the United States, but they didn't. They stayed under the UK and the crown, right? That's why I just say, man, the sovereignty they have is really delusional, man. It's an illusion of inclusion. It's not, they don't have no sovereignty, you know. We do over here, but they don't. For the First Amendment right says, careful, the mods like to keep it MAGA here. So it says here, they don't like comments that disagree with their words. Now, for my mods, I had a talking with my mods, though, you know. So I told them First Amendment rights not to block people that have a different opinion, right? Because, like I said, when they do that, we are no better than the other people that are. I said this all the time. We are not a echo chamber here, right? I mean, you got people over here. All I said is just be respectful, right? So, as far as with my mods, they know better not to just to block you for having an opinion. It just depends on how you come across on it. And for those that have been blocked, though, I apologize once again. I made it clear for the mods, my mod squad, not to block people that have a difference of opinion, right? It's just that when you get nasty, that's where it becomes a problem, right? So let me go down here. Ryan says, first, bring up Trump as a draft dodger. It's a deflection to the TDS, not an opinion, you know. You got a point about that. But I'm just saying we can be respectful of each other. This is not a echo chamber. You got to go to Santana Jones and Johnny and all them on there because they don't want you saying anything about Trump in a positive way, of course. If you say Trump 2028 and all this stuff, they will block you over there. That's a fact. They'll block you big time over there. I know because I've been blocked a few times. We got here. He come back here, man. Hawk Smash. Hawk Smash. He said the left, what's that, Bats? On the hypocrisy. It's crazy how they turn a blind eye. Welcome back, Hawk Smash. Hawk Smash. Hawk Smash. You know, I got to get that sound bite, man. Hawk Smash. Yeah, man, yeah. Mm-hmm. You don't let you get him on going over here smashing stuff, you know. Hawk Smash, get over here and start smashing stuff, you know. Boy, I tell you, Coconuts Are Real says, first, it's just mad because he keeps getting timed out for being off topic. Here's the thing, though, Coconuts Are Real. Don't, like I said before, here's the thing about it. You ain't gotta time him out for that, too, because he want to get off topic. They're going to do what they do. I'm okay with that. You know, that's okay. Because, you know, they're going to do that anyway. That's what I'm saying. The DMs, most of the time, they don't stay on topic. They like to have their talking points. And when you seen it myself, though, Coconuts Are Real. I ask these guys a question, and I don't get questions answered. They always the one to answer questions. You know why? Because it's a gotcha moment coming from them. They don't ask questions for understanding. It's a tactic game that they do, you know. But I don't mind sometimes. As long as I'm staying on topic, that's the main thing, though. I got a bigger voice than he does, and anyone else, though. I got a bigger voice, so I'm not threatened by that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah, we got this other guy. Let me see. Big John says, only thing the Democrats do is break deals, and Trump has to fix it. Yep. And then you're right, though, Big John. That's exactly right, though, too, about this, you know. But, yep, I was waiting on this dude to show back up over here. Let me go ahead. I'm going to send this as well. Give me one moment. Give me one moment here. Let's see here. Airplay. Hold on for a minute, guys. All right. Let's take a look at it here. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Let me see here. I did an airplay. Here, this one I'm going to do too. I got something, I got something here. Hold on for one moment. All right. Let's see here. Send this to myself. Because I don't have my cloud turned on from my phone and stuff, but that's okay. That is okay. Hold on for one moment. All right, we're gonna do this here. All right, and all right, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and send this. And while I do that, guys, let me do a break for a minute, just one moment. Just one moment, guys. Let me just do a potty break real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back here. Just give me one moment here. Okay, there we go. All right, so I think I sent this to myself here. To myself. All right, I think I sent that to myself. All right, so let's see here. All right, just give me one moment, guys. I'm trying to send some of this stuff to my photo here. Let's see, photo, open previews. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna put it here. All right, because I got something else I wanted to share and things though. So just give me one moment. Okay, let's see here. All right, this is what we're gonna do here. Hold on for a minute. All right, here we go. All right, I just want to break this stuff down, and that way we can go in and put this stuff to rest. Here it is right here, guys. The problem with socialism is a philosophy of failure, the greed of ignorance, and the gospel of envy. This is by Winston Churchill, because they knew the difference. And you can see down here, failure. The promises delivers nothing. Ignorance. I know best. Facts. We don't need facts. Sound familiar? Envy, right? What's yours is mine. This is the government they set up with the taxes and everything, right? The road to what? Meritocracy, right? Paves with good intentions and bad ideas, right? Oh my goodness. Here it is right here, right? Some ideas built nothing but ruin. See, it all sounds good with socialism, but you got to understand throughout the history, this is what it leads to, right? This is a mic drop right here. And this is coming from Winston Churchill that said it, right? These people understood very well, and this is back to so-and-so's retort, you know? That's the whole thing about it, though, you know? We don't need nobody's trying to school us and trying to tell us about what socialism is when they, in fact, if you look at any country in the world, and this is what is going on, man. That's exactly what it is. Read them in week. And I'm going to keep it up here, though, too. That I'll blow out what you talking about. How you like them apples? How you like me now? Right? There you go. I'm going to keep it up there, too. So that way he can vast in it. Right? There you go. I'm going to keep it up. There you go. All right. Let me see here. David White says, you're next. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm over here responding to the dude that was in here the last time, you know. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let me see here. Ryan says exactly. And if you are a Democrat state, welfare state, and don't see these new manufacturing jobs, it's your local politicians and policies that's keeping them from coming there, which is facts, which is absolutely facts. Yep. Let me see. Greg says America first, MAGA. Absolutely. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just keep on reading what I put up there, though, man. And then he going to come back with fuel prices or whatever. Because you's an idiot. I remember you before, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm going to just leave that up. I put that post up just for your behind, right? That destroys everything that you got to say, Mr. Socialist, I'm an expert on. You know what I'm saying? You can't school any of us on this stuff. That's why I said I was waiting on you to come back in here. How you like me now, right? Big John says, if I was a trillionaire, I would take out my MAGA nation family out to dinner. Yeah, I know you would. I would accept that too if you were a MAGA trillionaire, you know. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be so good with the economy. What Trump got to go, we in the golden age where we ain't gotta be no trillionaire to take everybody out, man. We're gonna have wealth coming back in this country. It's a beautiful thing, and we winning, right? We are winning. And things. That's the main thing, though, man. Boy, I tell you, man. And we ain't going to let these bastards tell us otherwise, man. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. What is this? He said, you should honestly be arrested for all of the shit you're letting out. You know what I'm saying? He said, see, this is a commie right here. See, communists talk and communist people, because they don't like the certain things that you say. See, it's upsetting them. This is a commie right here. He's a commie, right? That's what I'm glad you made that point. Being a commie. Yep, appreciate it. Thank you. Make my job easier. Coconuts are real says tap the like button, and if you truly like, consider subbing. I appreciate if you guys are subbing. I appreciate you very much. You know, the mods are blocking us for disagreeing. And things. Randy Massey. No, and not just disagreeing. What are you saying? You know what I'm saying? What are you saying with the mods? You know what I'm saying? What are you saying? Are you being disrespectful? Be respectful, Democrats, is what Big John say. You won't get blocked. If you just learn to be respectful, be respectful. You can have an opinion, but just be respectful. That's all we're asking. Let me see here. Man, USA 1. All right. Yep, I see you there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep that up, though, too. I'm a Republican and got blocked. Randy Massey. Tell me why, Randy Massey. Why did you get blocked? Let me ask you that. Why did you get blocked? I'm just curious, though, too. Why did you get blocked? Let me see. I love our president and our country. Well, that shouldn't be a reason to get blocked. Yeah, I love our president and our country too. You know, let me see. I don't remember exactly. I move forward. Thank you. Okay, that's cool though. You know. Yep. I hate people that keep saying Iran won the war. I love for someone to explain to me. Oh, yeah, you saying that somebody keeps saying that Iran won the war? Well, that's just some of these people that are trying to troll. They know damn well that Iran ain't run nothing, though. They got bigger problems that they're going to be facing very soon. It's called 1,000 missiles, right? Big John says Democrats are never on topic. It's true. They're never on topic. That's the whole thing about it, though, you know? And we'll never educate them otherwise. And they're asked the same old dumb questions until they get a gotcha moment. That's how they operate. Because over on their side, the far leftists, these socialist, Democrat, commie bastards, right? All they want to do is want to get you in a gotcha moment. That's all they live to do. And then they get over here, oh, I won. It's amazing, though. It's amazing to me, you know what I'm saying? Here's another question. Give us an example of this breaking deals on Trump fixing it. It's always the questions all the time. They always ask the questions. And every time we ask the question, then it's another one. And when I ask the question, they never answer it. This is why it's a waste of time. That's why I just ignore a lot of these question asking people, because it's about a gotcha moment. It's a tactic that they use. Right? You don't think we know this on the left? It's a tactic that you guys do, right? And that's why your questions aren't even worthy to be answered. I don't even bother no more, because you don't come in here on good faith in the first place, right? That's another thing. I paint cold. Iran didn't win this war. Let me see. It's 100% to cut off China from the dirt cheap crude oil. Absolutely, because China was getting the cheap crude oil from where? Iran, before Trump intervened. Right. This is the whole thing. Right. China is talking right now, telling Iran, hey, listen, you guys are breaking every ceasefire deal that the Americans and you guys have established. China is even stepping up now and saying, hey, we got to make it good for all of us, though, because right now the blockade is happening again, right? Iran was allowed to sell a little oil, whatever, and look what they have done, right? This is bigger than Iran, though. These are the parasitical elite class that's controlling Iran. And this is the reason why, you know what I'm saying? All deals, right, are going to be broken. I would just say this. I know Trump is going to have to just take out the supreme leaders. They already put a threat on his life anyway, on Trump's life. You just got to take out all the leaders, though. Everybody has to be comfortable with that. Because look how many times that Trump have given these people a chance and another chance. The ceasefire deals, the whole deals is all garbage, man. That's the thing about it. Trump knows what he needs to do, and we are backing him too, because we're not gonna miss another Ayatollah. You know what I'm saying? His son or whatever. We haven't seen him. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Just got to go on and take him out, though. And where they've been bombing on those innocent ships and stuff like that. They've been bombing these other countries and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So like it is, these other Middle Eastern countries, it is what it is. Trump going to have to go in there, and he knows what needs to be done. And we okay with it. We okay with it. That's exactly what it is, though. And he will, because we ain't, and that's why I say, though, man, it's a beautiful thing, though, man, in regards to what's going on. I like what you're saying, I paint cold, The longer China is cut off from the oil, they are buried through, which is true, a larger reserve than the U.S., and we will continue the Iranian conflict until China is on their knees. And this is part of it as well, too, because China was the only one getting that oil for super cheap. They were the only ones that's getting that crude oil for super cheap. And now that those days have stopped, man, it's a beautiful thing. Let me see. Mud Butter, you back in here again. Mud Butter. Yeah, don't believe in it because other countries are investing heavy on solar. Are you serious, Mud Butter? That's the thing about it. That's going to be their demise over there in Europe. That was a plan for the United States. That whole Green Deal is a scam, sir. It's all a scam. That whole Green New Deal thing is a scam. Paris Climate Act, scam. Look how much money, how many billions and billions of dollars that they have scammed out of these countries with all that stuff. It was all a scam, though. There's no need for it. Germany blew up their reactors, their independent energy systems or whatever. That was the plan because China was going to run everything, right? Boy, talking about windmills and solar panels. Man, you can't operate no business like that, no manufacturing companies off of no windmill and no solar. Oh, my goodness. It's just insane. ETV is here. Let me see here. He says psychiatrist meds that they started putting kids on has something to do with it. Yeah, you're right about that, man. They got them all medicated up, Ritalin and all kind of stuff. Mud Butter says China produced 500 gigawatts of stored solar last year alone. But here's the thing about it. China is not using it for themselves. They don't have to. China got coal plants, and they got other reactors and things. They don't use solar panel and all that type of stuff. That stuff was that they created was supposed to be for Europe, man. They used that over there. That's what they wanted to do. They had Germany in them to blow up their power plants, their coal plants and so forth, so they can go ahead and go, solar and tidal, man. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? ETV said, Mud Butter, you should move to China, right? Yeah, it sounds like you're rooting for it. He said, good answer. Let me see here. ETC ETV said, yeah, here's an answer. Go to China. Mud Butter laughs. I Paint Coal says between Venezuela and Iran, estimates are 70% deductions in imported crude oil. China can't build their reserves, but now burning through their reserves. Yeah, they're burning through it because they ain't getting no oil from Venezuela. Was it Venezuela or China though? I'm sorry, Venezuela and Iran anymore. You know what I'm saying? Trump stopped that, and that was the plan anyway. To cut the parasitical elite class that controls China, because the parasitical elite class already dubbed China as being the new superpower. That's why all the investments, this is why all the American companies and other Europe, everything was going to China. China also with the, don't leave out the AI stuff and the data centers and stuff like that. The data centers are all built in China, man. This is exactly what it is, though. They were going to push China as being a new superpower, man. Boy, I tell you, who cares? China has GDP, economy, was the military, all numbers. Guess who number one? That's America, baby. America, Randy Massey, is America is number one. We always have been, Boy, we would have let Kamala Harris, man, it would have been terrible, man. Between Venezuela and Iran, estimates of 70% deduction. Oh, yeah, I read that one already. I don't know if you're a bot or not, though. I appreciate the information, though. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me see here. Still no answer. Who you talking to, Mother Butter? You and ETV got something going on? Let me see here. Sarah says, look at the communist country, and you see what communist is. Absolutely there, Sarah, though. I'm going to go ahead and post that as well. We definitely see, boy, what's going on there. And this is the thing about it. That's why I keep this up. This right here fractures and destroy everything, what they trying to go on, trying to tell us that capitalism, socialism is the little brother to communism, straight like that. Randy Massey says, China's scared to death to leave their coast. The U.S. is worldwide. You right about that, man? Boy, we got the whole Western thing on lock. The Monroe Doctrine and all that stuff. I tell you, what Ryan says, let me see here. Let me read what you says here. Ryan says, socialism has killed over 150 million people. Yeah, it's a bad way, though, man, because they don't build anything, though. What they do is that they take the money from capitalists, right, until it's depleted. And once it's depleted, the government has control over everything, right? And this is exactly, we're seeing this stuff right now. Just look at Mondummy. As I mentioned before as well. Mondummy never had a job before, a trust fund baby. This is the first job he ever worked at. You know what I'm saying? He has a mother and a father from Uganda, right? Look at all that money and stuff like that their family have, Randy Massey says, China keeps stealing our tech and their Temu jets. Yeah, Randy Massey, yeah, they always went after our intellectual property at one time. But I believe that we have got a hold on it, though. Trump had to make deals with other Asian countries and said, if you're doing business behind America's back, you are going to be hit with tariffs. And Trump been using the tariffs to control they behind, and they can't stand it, man. I think China is, 65% pay tariffs? They have, actually, China pays the highest tariffs out of anybody else throughout the world. Denise says solar and wind grids didn't save Texans from freezing. When their power failed a few years ago, and this is what Mr. Mudbutter is what Denise is saying. Hey, Denise. Hey, baby. There's Denise Farmer, and she's a Texan, right? We got Texas Jane? I ain't seen Texas Jane in a while, boy. Texas Jane, I ain't seen her in a while, Let me give a little shout out to my mods. I ain't did that yet. Hold on for a minute. Here we go.
I would like to give a shout out to the mod squad, starting with Black Guy 9, Jason Beatrice, that is a member, Brian Reedy, that is a member, Coconuts R's Real, that is a member, Stewart 2004, Texas Jane with her 6 shooters, that is a member, Man USA 1, that is a member, Domish 3332, Denise Farmer, Cheryl Schultz, Dana, Slicknick 68, Not Your Mama But Your Mama, that is a member, Omega, Howard, Special thanks to Tanya Zimmer and Paul Ace.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we got Jamie saying straight coon and things is what she's saying. It's a little bit too heavy for Jamie or whatever, you know. Boy, I was over here, boy, we was blazing them up, man, with these with the sorry brothers earlier and things like that. She's still mad off of that. Oh, it's gonna be okay, Jamie. Oh, Jamie, hold on for a minute. Where my crybaby sound at? I got something for Jamie or whatever. Hold on for a minute, Jamie. Stay right there, though. You know, if that's your real name. Oh my goodness, I never been hurt with a name being called to me. Person, I've been called much worse than just being called a coon, right? But it's all good. It's all good because we got that baby crying. There we go. Oh, Jamie. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Jamie. It's okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. She's a communist, and you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. She's a communist. Let's see here. Randy Massey, bro, we moved past that. I'm a Republican. Who's calling you, Randy? Who's calling you a communist? I'm lost, man. What's going on, man? Let me see here. My opinion is that you're an idiot. Let me see here. Who is this guy? Who is Caesar Rambert? I'm gonna give you. Who you addressing to? What's that? What's that? Sarah? Well, who you talking to? Who you addressing to F Trump? Okay, I think you're addressing it to me. And things, and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's what. See, they in their feelings though. Once again, he is in their feelings. He know he ain't gonna do nothing for real. He's just on a keyboard, right? Keyboard warrior, probably living in his mama's basement. That's the problem, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I make you famous, but I ain't gonna do it today, though, because I'm talking about something much more important. I looked at your channel info, Tony. You looked at my channel? He says, I'll look at your channel. Yeah, I appreciate it, man, USA 1. Yeah, let me see here. Then he says bad mouthing the host. Yeah, that's exactly correct, though, too. Because remember I told him what the rules are, not to insult the host as well, though. So I'm going to give him one more time to get himself together, though, and things like that. I'm going to just make this.
Attention all trolls. Please refrain from using harsh language and threats of violence. All violators will be blocked from the chat. Thank you very much, Chandria.
Okay. So the guy that's with this burner account, because I pulled up your channel, you don't have no followers. This is a troll account here for Saram or whatever the hell your name is. This is another troll account here. And what I'm going to do, if you keep up with the antics, though, because like I said, people can have a difference of an opinion. But when you go to name calling, that means we're already in one debate already. You don't, let's just admit it, you don't have anything for me, and you don't have anything for people in this chat, though. You know, obviously, the things that I'm saying obviously bothers you. You don't like the fact that a lot of people in here rock with Trump. This is a Trump channel, and I said this before. I'm unapologetic when it comes down to supporting Trump. I don't need your permission, nor do any of the other people in this room need your permission. So there that. You can kick rocks now, sir. All right. So other than that, I think we got with that, though, because he wasn't bringing anything constructive to the conversation anyway, just in his feelings like the rest of them. Let me see here. Some random. One of your moderators is a Democrat. They are leftists. They are constantly banning people from putting people in timeout. Patriot. Which one is that? And I'll look at it. Which one is that? ETC, ETV. Who is the one that's banning people? You've been co-opted. So which one is it? Yeah, we're asking who it is. I can take care of it. Who is it? I don't know. But the problem, we don't know who has been happening to. All right, it's been happening. I wish you would read my post about it. He needs to wipe all of you out, starting new. Let me see here. So I'm asking, you don't know who it is? That's the thing about it, though, you know. they were banning a bunch of people that said things against Obama. When did this happen? I got banned from this chat under another name because I said Obama weaponized the IRS against the Tea Party. In fact, I remember when you made that statement, but I would like to know who, I'm going to have to go in. I have a way to go in under, because a lot of the streaming software that I use, I can actually see, maybe I can go in here and see if I can. I remember when you made that statement. And if I have to go down through here, and it's going to be a little tedious, but I'll find out who it is. If it is the person you making an accusation, and I'm going to have to look into it and see who that is. You know what I'm saying? Because if I am compromised, it's just a matter of time, though. You know, I ask all my mods, though, too. Like I said before, you guys already know how I roll. You know what I'm saying? So, therefore, we don't just ban people for having an opinion. But if if he's saying that he's gotten banned because he said that Obama, right? And I remember when you made that statement too, because I remember reading it, right? But I gotta know. You making an accusation, and I gotta know though. I don't know if you ever seen the movie LOL. Okay, I certainly hope it doesn't happen to you, Ryan. I certainly hope it doesn't happen to Ryan. Okay. Facts. It was completely banned, and another name makes jokes about Obama. You know what I'm saying? Some random even laughed at one of the jokes that I still got banned. Whatever. The facts, you don't see it because it was under another name. Okay. Let me see what we have here. He says here, I had to come back here under a different name because it got banned. So why would you see that under a name? And you see the things when moderators are low IQ, that person is proof of it. But I got to have a name, though, before. That's the thing about it. I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying, you say you don't remember what the name is. That's fair. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of mods, but the person is challenging me because probably the Democrat, secret rat Democrat within the mods. I just bet that is one. Okay, that person challenged me is probably a Democrat and the secret rat Democrat within the moderators. I just bet that it's the one. Let me say, I'll be right back, my MAGA family. That's cool. As ETC, we need. Okay, he says here. Well, we need that name to check it for the host review. That's what I'm saying. If you can remember, go ahead and ban me again, you dirty Democrat. Who are you talking about? You never gave a name, so you're just saying, come on, ETC, man. You can't just throw out you dirty Democrat. You don't know who it is. If you don't even know if the person is a Democrat. That's what I'm saying, though. You said, go ahead and ban me again, you dirty Democrat. Who you talking to? What's up, Deontay Rant Raves podcast show, man? How you doing, though, sir? Let me go ahead and put him up here. Yep, we got Deontay in the house. You guys should check out his channel, too. He has a very, very good channel as well. We did a collaboration with each other before and things. So welcome to the chat, man. I know I'll be checking your stuff out sometimes, man. But, yeah, man, I've been over here and things, man, doing what I always do, But, yeah, I'm trying to there's one viewer in here that made an accusation about someone, one of my mods, though, But he can't give me a name, which is interesting. I never seen ETC in any other chats act like this. I know. Must have been, yeah, I remember him before. Black Guy 9. Welcome, Black Guy 9. I ain't going to worry about that right now. I'm back. Big John is back. Welcome back, Big John. They're saying waving to Deontay. You guys got to check out his channel again. He has a very good one. We're going to post it up in here. He says Ultra MAGA for life. There it is right here. Deontay Rant Raves podcast show. Ultra MAGA for life. There we go. There it is. Black Guy 9 waves. Coconuts are real says, I just found and was banned from the channel. Erica mods yesterday. Okay. Let me see. Erica. Okay, I'm back, Big John. Okay, so it's all just sour grapes. BS. Got it. Figures. Black Guy 9 says, waving to Deontay. Yep. Okay. Big John says, I love the crybaby sound. Oh, you like that sound, Elvier? I mean, see, I still got it for you, though, too. I know I haven't used it lately, but they was in here crying earlier. Yeah, Deontay, man, I was over here talking about, doing a reaction video and stuff in regards to, Pastor Manny. James, right? Davis Manny out of Harlem, New York and stuff, man. And he said some pretty firing things that needed to be said, you know. Let me see here. I know Big John liked this sound. Yeah, he likes that. Here we go. Yeah, he likes that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Coconuts Are Real says, hey, D. Ryan says, have a good one, my MAGA peeps. I'm going to surf a little. See you next time. That's all beautiful, man, that you even surf, man. That's cool. Never been on the surfboard in my life, you know. Deontay Rant Raves podcast show says to Black Guy 9, what's up, man? What's up, man? You know? Lord God says Trump will what? Now, Lord God, you know better than that, man. You know better than putting that out about our president we all know and love, and that's Donald J. Trump, the commander-in-chief of the free world, man. That's no way to talk about our president, man. Throwing out accusations without no facts. That's what they do, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what they do, you know. Deontay says, I just got off from work. Okay, I get that, man, and things. That's what's up, man. Good to have you on, man. We got to do another one next time, a collaboration, you know. Yep, let me see here. Looking at it, Coconuts Are Real says West Coast for Life channel. Follow her over here being dumb. Bet. Let me see here. Yep, and let me see here. Sarah says, I'm addressing the commies, not you. Deontay's Rant Raves podcast says, yeah. Black Guy 9 says, hit that like button and subscribe. That's what, yeah. Y'all hit that like button and subscribe, please, you know. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, you know. There we go. Let me see here. Absolutely, Tony, 100%. Yeah, I appreciate you. Let me see here. Yeah, just looking at some of the stuff. Sarah says, no, I wasn't calling the host names. I know you wasn't, Sarah. You've been good with me. I remember you. You've been good to me. It's been good. Nobody blocked Sarah. She's been good. Big John says, Democrat supporters go cry in a corner. Yep, you right about that. Let me go ahead and post that too. You got that right. Let me see here. Black Guy 9 says, he's lying. Let me see here. He's lying. Let me see here. Tony is way behind the chat. I am too, man, Anna. I'm way behind. I'm trying to get caught up, man. I'm way behind. Let me scroll down at the bottom. Joe Mama is in the house. Not your mama. Boy, I tell you, Joe Mama, boy. I watch you personally, hey, folks. I'll talk to Tony. Let me see. He says, I'll watch you personally bait folks. I'll talk to Tony. Joe Mama in the house. Who, me? Joe Mama, who, me? Not y'all mama, but Joe Mama, man. Man, me and Joe Mama go back to for like 4 flats on the Cadillac, man. Yep. Let me see. Hollywood Scrub. What's it? Scoob says, what's it? Scooby? Is he searching for a Scooby snack? Scooby Doo? He says, the MAGA hat, question mark, laughing my ass off. It's a gift. Come on, bro. Seriously? Yeah, seriously. This, didn't you know? Hold on, let me address Hollywood. You didn't know Hollywood? This is an unapologetic MAGA channel. Over here, where MAGA people can speak amongst themselves without any type of ridicule because the hosts say so. How you like them apples? It's that Joe Mama says, you have a mod problem. Tell me which one it is, though, Joe Mama. I got to know. I got to know, man. Tell me who it is, though. Joe Mama ain't going to steer me wrong. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, when Joe Mama is calling this ish out, and like I said, he ain't been wrong yet. And Joe Mama, we're going to have a conversation, Joe Mama. You see, Joe Mama says, I watch you do nothing on every time you log in. Let me see here. It says, let me see here. Watch you do nothing. Hey, hold on for a minute. Let me see here. Coconuts are real. Take me off the mod then. I'm done my job. What's going, Joe Mama says, he said, you all do nothing, is what Joe Mama say. Let me see. I'm not a Democrat, nothing. This ain't addressing to you, Hollywood. I'm trying to, this is about something else here. Coconuts are real says he's about to. Okay, Black Guy 9 said, you're a trans Hollywood. Joe Mama, we got to holler, man, Joe Mama. What's going on, man? There's one thing with Joe Mama, though, man. Joe Mama, boy, I tell you, man. Yeah, he says, you all do enough. He says, you all do enough. That's what Joe Mama said. Not your mama, Joe Mama. You say I got a mod problem? Coconuts are real. You said, take me off the mod. I done my job. What do you mean by that, though, coconuts are real? What do you mean you say you done your job? He's about to what? He said, Joe Mama, you got through the timeout list and watch what folks get banned for. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'd be caught up with so many other things, though. So, Joe Mama, who is the culprit, though, Joe Mama? Do I have one or more, you know? I got to wait on Joe Mama, though, you know? And Joe Mama been rocking with me for a long time, so hold on for a minute. Keep supporting globalist wars, sending our military into the sand wars. Let's see here. Coconuts is the man, baby. Let me see here. Some random. You need to wipe the slate clean with moderators. Okay. F words and racist comments isn't stupid, Joe Mama. Okay, and that's what he's saying here. We don't know who the culprit is, but at least one of them is undercover Democrat. All right, so what I'm gonna do here then is since I got a mod problem though, no offense everybody, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that once this show is over though, and then I'll just go back and do a little vetting a little bit better though to find out who that is. Because if Joe Mama is addressing me, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of wondering as to why Joe Mama really didn't come in on the chat a lot. Now this is telling, because I know me and Joe Mama go way back on this stuff. And I know Joe Mama, he says, I'm not talking about swear words or racism, is what Joe Mama's saying. He's talking about something else. He ain't talking about that. That's the easy stuff, you know. But yeah, Joe Mama, yeah. Yeah, we'll get down to it, though. Magic K5D, he says, you're a clown. You know, boy, he said, I was wondering when you were going to do this, if you were going to do it, yeah, and be a cure of the problem. Yeah, I'll take care of it, though. Yep, Kitty, I'll make sure I get it taken care of, man. Either was I that was what I banned for. Okay, I've been here almost every show, Tony. Yeah, I know you do ninja listening a lot, Joe Mama. I'm gonna take care of it, though, man. I'll take care of it. I appreciate it, though. That was bringing it up. I have had some other people that contacted me and reached out to me as well too, that I have a mod issue. So I'll take care of that, because once again though, you know, I would like for people to kind of keep the word, but now I'm gonna have to do a vetting thing just to make sure that I'm gonna have my mods. But yeah, got to find out which one it is. Right now, it's just easier just to turn off all the mod things right now. No offense to you guys that are our mods until I can be able to straighten this situation out and things like that. And then I'll bring it back up. But, yeah, me and Joe Mama go way back, you know. Omega, we go way back, you know. So we'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We will figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Right. Well, we'll figure it out. Yep. But yeah, I appreciate it for you guys that's been bringing it to my attention, and I will take care of it. You know, I made a joke about Obama and stupid presidential library, right? Because I remember I was doing okay, all right, yeah, okay, yeah. So he said even laughed at one of my jokes, some random. Yeah, I laughed at some of the jokes about Obama. You know how I do, man. But yeah, let me see here. We're real conservative, you know. Yeah. But I'm what I said though, no offense to my mods, but I gotta lock it down, find out who's who, and basically go from there and then build my way back up. You know what I'm saying? Because there's other people that have been addressing it to me as well too, and things like that. Because remember when my thing was about, I've said this to my mods many of times. I said people can have an opinion. This is not no, you know what I'm saying, echo chamber and stuff. You are allowed to have an opinion. But the problem is that, you know, if people are being booted for less reasons than that, then that's an issue. So, yeah, I'll make sure I take care of that and things, though, too. That's cool. We'll get it taken care of. Now, let me see here, kind of. The moderators will kiss up to you and all sorts of stuff while they screw everybody else over, blah, blah, blah. But like I said before, it's never meant to be a echo chamber, you know. But because of Obama and all this other kind of stuff, man, you know, because like it is, though, this is where true MAGA, right? We're talking about people that are America first. We're talking about moderates, right? We're talking about some libs that came over to our side or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's the thing about it, though, you know. But saying fuck the NAACP. Well, they don't do anything anyway. I'm right on board with that one. But yeah, we're going to get down to the bottom of it, ladies and gentlemen. Need not to worry. I'll get it taken care of. I appreciate all the likes, though, too, and things like that. Where are we at here?
Please like, comment, and subscribe, please.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Shalon.
Can we get to 100 likes? Let's go, MAGA.
I think we could, you know. Let me see here. Let me see it. C.N. Smith says, young people are the most ignorant and indoctrinated government. Is there, okay, he said, isn't here to save you. You know, he says, government, and ignorant people. Let me see here. Facts. It's what Black Guy 9 says. What's actually has happened is a Democrat rat that got into the moderate position. I agree with that. And I'm going to shut it down. There ain't no problem with that. Because if they're over here banning and stuff like that, I'll find out who it is. So I got to go down and have a conversation with each and every one. I'm going to find out who it is, though, you know. I'm going to find out who it is, you know, because that's all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not supposed to be blocking and timing people out for just anything that's said about Obama. You know, I went hard on Obama. But if they're going to block Obama and things like that, I was talking about Obama today. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. Some random even laughed at my blah, blah, blah. All right. No problem at all. I'll find out who it is. But I appreciate it, Joe Mama, too, man. We got here Censor Sergeant in the house. Imagine if Trump was head of the military. Yep. Sting operations to save America. Guess what? Ex-Sergeant, U.S. Air Force. The best is yet to come. Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember that. Obama is a bird brain. Mm-hmm. You're right about that, you know. But, yeah, man, I'll get that taken care of. Let me see. Have the Republicans replace the liberal parliament. I guess, yeah. And then the Senate, let me see. Trump got the praying hands on there. Yeah, I appreciate it, though, guys, man. But I did a lot of cooking earlier today. We talked about, you already know, put in time out and things like that. So, yeah, we ain't got to keep going over that. I'm gonna deal with it. I'm going to talk to Joe Mama and stuff like that and, You know what I'm saying? I'll get down to it. I'll get down to it, though. I'm not concerned with that right now. The whole thing is about moderators that put people in timeout. That's the only take away your base. Yep, I understand. I get it taken care of. Yeah, moderators are. Yep, I've been a moderator myself on other people's channel and stuff, so I'll take care of it. Yep, I will take care of it. Big Mike, Teabag, Obama. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm. I got something that I'm going to do too. You know what I'm saying? To find out who the person is, I got something that I'm going to do. But I'm going to take care of that other thing, though, too. If I got it. But right now, if you don't have moderator access, you're going to probably know the reason why. For right now, this is for everybody until I go back in there and take care of some things, though, too. I get it taken care of, though, So I'm just letting your mods know there's going to be a bit of an interruption because I may have a mole leak in my chat, and they're Democrat. They love Obama. This is what some of my people are telling me. So I'm going to find out who it is. And until then, I may not find out who it is. I'm going to just shut it down, and I'm going to have probably less mods on here right now. And for some of you guys that rock with me for real, and I never had a problem with you being a moderator, you're probably going to be fine. But other ones, you may be questionable, you know what I'm saying? But I have to do what I have to do, you know what I'm saying? Yep, I got to do what I got to do. Censor Sergeant and things, yes. We got Censor Sergeant in the house. Yep. Let me see. Only the one unrecorded person should be chosen as a moderator and given the powers, blah, blah, blah. I take care of it. Let me see. It has gone to Coconuts Real here. He said Coconut. He said, I didn't instant you ignore you, Tony. Warning, foul language. No, I'm not insinuating anything. Coconuts are real. All I'm saying is I'm trying to find out who the mole is. And that's what I need to do. Because if it is a Democrat in here blocking people doing all this stuff, because it hurts what I got going on. I can't have that, though. So like I said, it'll be a temporary interruption for right now for the mods until I start getting the people. I got to vet a little bit more now and things like that. But it's all good, though. And they ain't crying over spilled milk. It is what it is. And then we get the ones back up. I'm still gonna have my mod squad, but I got to everybody right now understand what it is because I got a mole in here. They understand, I ain't throwing out no accusations towards anybody personally, but I got to shut some things down until I can be able to find out who it is and then go from there. But it's all good, though. I'm not crying over that. What I'm going to do, though, guys, is I got to get to work. But you guys been great. And for those that are coming in on the channel, where I talked about, what's his name, Pastor, right? James Davis, what's his name? James Davis. I'm almost forgetting the name now. Yeah, James Davis. Let me see. What was it? Hold on for a minute, guys. Because I was talking about this earlier.
No, we got this.
There it is right here, though, too. You know what I'm saying? So is this the one? Hold on for a minute. No, that's not the one. Let me see here. Yeah, this is the one right here. Is this the one I looked at? Hold on for a minute, guys. Where did that go? What the heck? Okay, this is mine right here. Okay, that's mine right here. But we talked, this is it right. Well, no, wait a moment. Why can't I find anything? Don't y'all hate that? Why can't I find anything, man? Let me see here, but, let's see here.
The sickest part.
Yeah, that's him talking right now, boy. He was going in earlier, you know what I'm saying? So, let me see here. What was his, man, what the heck? Why can't I find anything?
The sickest.
All right. Hold on for a minute. Why can't I find anything?
Now, I've always recommended to people.
That's not it. Hold on, guys. Why in the heck can I not find anything? Boy. Let's see here. Hold on for a minute. I pulled that back up. But in any event, it was about James Davis Manning. I did a reaction to it and things like that. So he was over here cooking. I didn't have some audio on here earlier. So you may have to skip ahead at some point where I did have audio. and things like that. But it's under the black pastor has had enough, you know. And I went in and did a whole reaction to it, though, which was pretty good. It's about, Manny, right, talking about, right, what is going on in the black community when it comes down to young black men. So, yeah, so he went in and went on a rant about it, though. It was something else, ladies and gentlemen, something else. Yep. But other than that, though, yeah, it's all good. All good. Yep, let me see here. I say that coconut is the mold. Mold coconut keeps putting me in time out. He put me in time out. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's see here. All right. Yeah, coconuts are real. They there's an accusation that has been made to you, and things. Coconuts are real, so and things like that. So these are accusations that's coming out. Yeah, we'll get down to the bottom of it though too. I'm still looking at that though too. But other than that, guys, I got to get to work and stuff. And we said, laughing my ass off. I'm not the mold. And again, your language is the reason, you know. But, yeah, we'll get down to it. Because like it is, let's see, it's good as long as coconuts are real or whoever is a rat. I think it's coconuts. Coconuts, stop putting people in timeout so much. Ha, ha, ha. Coconuts, you're going down. All right. Other than that, though, guys, I'm about to get ready to sign off. I appreciate you guys for being on Some Random Guy Speaks. I'm your host, Tony Love. I'll be back tomorrow with another mic dropping, topic and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you all, man. We had Deontay showed up. A lot of you guys showed up, man. It's been good, man. It has been a real fiery show and things like that. I had something checked that was causing it to echo. So some of y'all may hear it echo and stuff like that, man. It was a setting that I touched that I should not. But now I got it right. You're going to get the fire every single time with my voice the way it is now without all this echoing stuff and all this other crap going on. It was something that I touched, though. My fault. But other than that, though, you guys take care, love one another and stuff. And be real. We're going to be coming back tomorrow and doing the same thing that we always do. I've been going a little earlier, too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we've been doing it a little earlier and stuff like that. But I appreciate you guys, man. Peace and chicken grease. I am out. I thank you all, man, for being part of the show. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel. Or same random channel, that is. All right. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys. He said, Google right there. Look it up. Google right there. What? I appreciate all my mods, too, for the most part of it. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out. I got to do you already know, I got to end on Star Spangled Banner. Hold on for a minute. You know how I do. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up the Star Spangled Banner. All right, though. And, and I appreciate you guys. I already did the one earlier. Let me see here. Where's my Star Spangled? There it is. My Star Spangled Banner, man. It is actually copyright free. And the person that sung this is Ashley LaRue. I appreciate her, though, too, as well. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Got that big, beautiful flag. Yep, that's a beautiful thing. Let me move myself down. Whoops, let me move myself right here. There we go. All right, guys, I'm about to get ready to head on out. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes star.